Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you and welcome to another sunny Melbourne day, and wherever you're watching in and around this global village of ours, a welcome to a very special day ahead of the Australian Open 2015, because today is the day of the main draw. So for some players in the draw, their hearts will soar when they look at their opponents. For other players, of course, it might plummet a little bit and we might need a bit of fortitude on the next 24 or 48 hours before round one gets underway on Monday, Melbourne time, here in Australia. So welcome to the main draw. We'll be getting underway with that one very, very shortly. But while the players' fortunes are certainly in the hands of the draw, so too are hundreds of tennis clubs around Australia, because they've been linked as a part of the AO Tennis Blitz with the top players. And we're going to reveal exactly which clubs have been linked to which top players and who is likely to go through deep into the second round of the Australian Open. So welcome if you're one of the tennis competitors, or indeed if you're one of the participants, and there are thousands, hundreds of thousands of them around Australia that will be eagerly awaiting how the AO Blitz unfolds as well. So a very good morning to you, one and all. The Australian Open Tennis Blitz, hugely successful again, over 300 clubs involved, 1.7 million page views online, hundreds of thousands of people raising money and also raising points to try and get up towards the top players. It's been huge, and we're going to reveal to you exactly which tennis clubs are associated with which top players. But let's have a look back to last year and the winners from 2014, of course, Lena and Stan Wawrinka, and this is what happened to those winning clubs. Yeah, certainly some wonderful scenes there, and congratulations to both of those clubs, and a real injection of funds into local grassroots tennis, and that's what the AO Tennis Blitz is all about, making it accessible to local clubs and improving the facilities of those local clubs so that everyone in the neighbourhood can buy into what is one of the great sports. To tell us more about it, please welcome to the stage Karen Clydesdale, the Tennis Australia Manager for Community. Give her a big round of applause. Oh. Lovely to have you up here, Karen. Now, talk to us about those two clubs, because we saw the cheques, tens of thousands of dollars going into those communities.
It was fantastic. Like Watervale, they obviously had Lee Na. They were so excited when they won. They were having parties beforehand, and then, of course, then we had the town party. Not only did they get that $10,000 from ANZ, but they also then raised another $30,000, and now they're building courts. And that's what AO Blitz is about, is really connecting with communities and leaving a legacy in those communities so that more people can play tennis.
And it certainly did look like some pretty good parties as well. I mean, you had Fitzy there, you had Todd there, you wheeled out everyone.
Yeah, and we also enjoyed some Watervale wine, a little wine at the last part too, which was very special.
Now, the AO Tennis Blitz this year has had 5 main key components in regard to the campaigns. Take us through how that's worked.
Okay, yeah, the 5 campaigns. Certainly the club campaign was fantastic. This year in 3 months we had 300 clubs run open days, and that gained them points. We had schools, over 100 schools participated that in only the last term of Term 4. And then the other part of that, we had tennis-taculars, which were basically a tennis party and taking them to great festivals and shows all throughout Australia.
Now, another one was to win a wild card to actually come here to Melbourne Park to play as part of the Australian Open 2015. I mean, you can't buy your way in, you've got to win your way in.
Exactly. So this is the first time we've got the Australian Open mixed doubles wild card. We had over 500 people play in the winter wild card all around Australia, and that's only going to get bigger and better. And they all played fast four, which was fantastic. I'm not sure whether I was that good on the power plays though, but anyway.
We've seen that unfold this week, and it's been absolutely scintillating. Of course, Rafael Nadal most recently right here at Margaret Court Arena. The other one was the Hit the Target competition, an online competition, and millions of people got involved in that one.
Certainly, it was just amazing. And basically, it was an online competition where they had to shoot a target from a cannon and from the MCG or Eureka Tower into the Rod Laver Arena. And there was a lot of fun, and 1,500 people won lots and lots of prizes, tallies, iPads, beeps. They loved it.
Now, there is some good stories, and we'll get to those in just a moment, but let's have a look at the top 8 on the men's side and also the women's side as well. I'll get to you to refer your attention here to the big screen. So Novak Djokovic, Kendall, New South Wales. Now, they did so well last year as well. Top billing again this year.
Oh, fantastic. And we're going to meet Wendy, but fantastic 2 in a row. We're not sure whether they might get rubbed out for next year.
Roger Federer, Esperance in WA, Rafa at Warrnambool in Victoria, Stan Wawrinka, Templestowe, not far away, just 8 or 10 kilometres away from the Melbourne CBD as well. Getting into the 5 through 8 positions, of course, Sunbury will be supporting Japan. They'll be riding behind Kei Nishikori. Andy Murray from Melbourne, so that's right in the middle of Melbourne. Thomas Burdick as well from the NT, and Henley Beach SA for Juan Martin Del Potro. So that's the way the men's side unfolds, and congratulations to all those clubs. Having a look at the women's, well, bit of rivalry,
yes.
New South Wales. Casino have got Serena Williams.
Yeah, they have, and there's certainly the last few weeks, I know Casino were very keen to get a few more hit the targets, and a lot of schools were registering, so they just got pipped at the post.
And you can see the others there, Sharapova, Halep, Kvitova as well, and then going through to the 5 to 8 positions. You can see Ana Ivanovic, Grafton, Agnieszka Radwanska. Now, Grafton really turned it on, didn't they?
They certainly did. It took me a little while to get up there, but it was fantastic. And they put on a spectacle at the fantastic Jacaranda Festival. And so much so, the whole tennis community put on a tennis float. And we played cardio tennis and hot shots on the float right through the town, and it was just spectacular. So went fantastic to that town.
So congratulations to all of those towns. We can now introduce to you the winners, and we start with Wendy Hudson from the Kendall Tennis Club. Wendy, come up on stage. Give her a big round of applause. Come and stand over here, Wendy. Now, you're a serial offender at this sort of thing, aren't you? We had you on stage last year. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What was the key to it this year? How did your tennis club get to the top again?
I think the awareness of last year really helped. So once I put a few emails and our Facebook pages and got it all out there happening, everyone was really keen to do it again.
And Wendy, I know last year every time you were lucky you had Rafa, and this year obviously you got Djokovic, but you had Rafa parties every time you played, and it was just spectacular. What are the plans for this year?
There's some big parties planned again. We're already into it. We've already got our signs up. Our printers printed the signs. The town's signs are going up, and our club signs are up, and we're ready to go.
And fantastic. And tell me about tell everybody here about the little present that you've prepared for Novak.
Yes, we've prepared a little jumpsuit for Novak's little new baby, Stefan. So we've got a special prize for him.
Yeah, fantastic.
Well, Wendy, take a seat over here, and well done to the Kendall Tennis Club. 4-time winner of the Australian Open, Novak Djokovic, has now been aligned to the Kendall Tennis Club. From Casino, we've got the Mayor, Ernie Bennett. Please put your hands together for Ernie. Welcome up, Mayor.
Okay, sorry, I thought there was only one.
And for you guys, not only did you win well here, but you also pocketed $5,000 as well.
Absolutely fantastic. And the credit must go to our promoter, Emma Shields, and Brendan Lee. Brendan's our coach, has taken our club from 50 members 2 years ago to over 200 members now. And it's just going ahead in leaps and bounds.
Fantastic. And what are your plans? What are Casino's plans over the next couple of weeks?
Oh, look, if Serena's playing, A local hotel has made their hotel available with the big screen, and so and Brendan's had some shirts printed for local people coming down. Brendan, if maybe we could have a look at the shirts, if he'd like to stand up. On the back, so casinos voting for Serena, so local people will be wearing those sort of shirts and promoting the whole thing at the local hotel. So yeah, this is our first year of competing, so look out next year, guys. This is only a bit of a trial run and we started a bit late, so yeah, we're right into it.
Well, it sounds like them's fighting words are starting to build a real rivalry amongst the tennis communities of Australia. Mayor, take a seat over there next to Wendy. And let's have a look at how 2014 unfolded too, because there were some really key moments ahead of the AO Blitz. Well, some terrific scenes there, and I think, Karen, the importance of that too was so many children being involved, and it's great to see them slip, slop, slapping. They've got the hats on, but they're playing tennis. That's the key.
They're playing tennis, they're playing hot shots, they're playing in schools, they're playing at clubs, and they're playing just anywhere, and that's what tennis is about. And yeah.
Have you found that from the AO Tennis Blitz? You've done a lot of air miles, you've got the frequent flyers all racked up, but is that what you found, that it's been accessible between young and old, doesn't matter, men, women, families, everyone involved?
All ages and all abilities, and have a hit and pick up a racket and have a hit. That's been the whole campaign message, and really it's been a great success.
And it's also been a mixture of using social media, using online media as well. Good catch there, okay, Silvery Sale. But it's been a mixture of using all of those sort of key things as well to be able to make accessible the sport of tennis.
Very much. It's been a really integrated campaign, and it's been across the whole of tennis. So not just Tennis Australia, everybody from the clubs, the coaches, the schools, the member associations, which is our Tennis New South Wales equivalents in each state, and all our coaches. We've got a coaches conference on at the moment, and they're all been really involved, and that's what is the strength of our sport.
Yeah, it certainly is really, really strong. Let's have a look at our next town that has been teamed with Rafael Nadal, who was the 2009 winner. He comes here battling a few different things, but you can never write off an absolute champion. And the town is Warrnambool. The councillor is Michael Neo. The mayor, Michael, come up on stage. Give him a round of applause. Warrnambool. Great to have you along. Now, how did Warrnambool embrace the AO Tennis Blitz?
Well, I think it started in 2014. We had Maria Sharapova, and we use social media. I was contacted by the local clubs to use my mayoral Facebook site, and we're trying to get signs up around some iconic sites. We're on the Great Ocean Road, so hopefully we'll get some Nadal signs on the Great Ocean Road, and we'll have 2 million people come past and see Warrnambool and the Tennis Association.
Fantastic. And I know last year you did some fantastic tweeting, which we saw and had great conversations, but also you had the LED lighting on the town. Can you explain that to the people, please?
Yeah, at our Civic Centre, we've got a sign similar to the one that we've got up here, and we said that Warrnambool's actually cheering for Nadal. So that is in the centre of our city. We get plenty of tourists, particularly this time of the year, and we really want to get Warrnambool behind Nadal.
Michael, we've seen councils embrace it, and yourself, there's a couple of mayors up here, and then the tennis clubs. How do you work in unison between the two? Because it's important to be a multi-pronged attack if you're going to accumulate enough points.
Definitely, the city of Warrnambool, and particularly councils, really want to get participation happening, and tennis is a great sport, males, females, seniors, so it's a great way to get our community healthy, and we play an important role in providing facilities, so we work really closely with Tennis Victoria, and also state government to provide those facilities for everyone to participate.
And when you're talking about it at that level, you're also talking about a cash injection or support, those sort of things that come from not only council but Tennis Australia getting in behind it as well. We saw some of the big cheques being handed over.
Oh, definitely, and it's a great legacy for rural and regional Victoria. Obviously, the event is held here, but this is a great legacy for those areas that are, say, 3-4 hours away, and we really appreciate being part of the AO Blitz.
Fantastic. And I think one thing you really did well at Warrnambool, you had the Tennis-tacular, I think it was in October, but then afterwards you had about 3 or 4 open days, and that's really, it certainly was a great success.
Definitely, and it was great to have the trophies tour regional Victoria, and we used that as a bit of a highlight and as impetus for our open days. So we really thank Tennis Australia, Tennis Victoria, and the AO Blitz.
Michael, we appreciate your time. Councillor Michael Neo, the Mayor of Warrnambool, take a seat over there. And we might talk a little bit later about the rivalry between a few of these towns because I think it is really developing. In terms of the trophies, well, they're pretty much on their way here right now because the draw is not far away. And we know that the trophies, the Daphne Ackhurst Memorial and Norman Brooks Challenge, will also be arriving as well. So those trophies are going to be coming here. It's one of the great days, isn't it, when you've got the draw and the AO Blitz as well?
Certainly, it all comes together, and no, we're very excited, and I think very exciting for Templestowe who are coming up here because they're going to meet the town that the player that they're cheering for. So.
Now, in regard to the AO Blitz, Karen, when you're talking about the build-up to it, the amount of work, what sort of team have you got around you to help make this happen, not only here in Melbourne, but also nationally as well? And I know even internationally, there's been a few eyes have a look at it and say, this is pretty good. We like this AO Tennis Blitz.
Certainly. Well, with the 5 campaigns, there were certainly 5 project teams, and that goes across all the media team, the HR, legal obviously get very involved, and then of course it goes right down for the CEO, down to the receptionists and the clubs and the coaches and the schools. So it really is an entire business campaign, which is really exciting.
And it's been really important not only for Tennis Australia, but it's also exposed Tennis Australia and the thought process to overseas possibilities as well.
Oh yeah, there's certainly opportunities over there, and we're working with Craig Tiley, our CEO. There's always possibilities, blue sky. So.
It certainly is plenty of blue sky, which is good news because it has been a little rainy, a little overcast here in Melbourne. Conditions absolutely perfect. The weather forecast hopefully is going to be very, very good as well for the 2 weeks that we've got ahead. And you find that the towns buy in because they have their own parties, don't they? They support a player. They might be watching it across the 7 network and they suddenly say, right, we're going to get on board. We'll have a party tonight because our player's playing.
Certainly, and it was very interesting last night and last year. We had Casey Delacqua was playing for a town, and I might need Emma to help me with that town, but they were fighting fires, and they were commuting in conversations with each other, saying, we're fighting for you, Casey, because we're fighting fires. So it was just, those really lovely stories that you don't see, and certainly with Warren, they had Sybil Cover, and they were sending her, presents and poems, and it's all those beautiful stories, and that's what it's about, connecting tennis to the communities, the people that can't come to the Australian Open. We have 650,000 people that come here, but of course we've got 23 million people that can feel connected to tennis.
And are you finding the players feel a connection to the town as well? Joe Wilfred Songer
yes.
had Namurka. Now, he would never have heard of Namurka, wouldn't have known, but all of a sudden it's on his radar, it's on the map, and he finds out more about it.
The players were fantastic, and chatting to Sam Groth yesterday, he said, who's my town again? And so they're really getting to know. And I think last year we saw Djokovic, hug his Parks fans.
Yes.
That was very, very special. He said, you're here, because he realised they couldn't come on a tram. So it was those little special moments.
Now, it's not all about country towns either, because there's plenty of really good suburban tennis clubs, and one of those is right here in Melbourne. It's the Templestowe Tennis Club, and from Tennis Works, please welcome Jeremy McKay. Jeremy, congratulations. You've got the defending champion, Stan. Can he go back-to-back?
Yes, he can. I think he certainly can. We tactically went for number 7, knowing Stan's such a good player. It was just a great event to get involved with and be able to have the opportunity to have players represent us as a town.
Now, as we've seen, there is a mix of council involvement, but also at the grassroots, at the club level, at the coaching level, the teaching level. What's been the impact of the AO Blitz on your organisation?
I think it's about just getting people together, the community, I guess, and just getting better and better people involved within tennis. such a great sport.
And have you found people have embraced it? They've wanted to come and participate, not only on the online facility, but also the open days and those sort of things?
Absolutely. We sort of reached a little bit further than Templestowe to some other local sort of communities as well, even though we're in the big city of Melbourne and tennis is very popular, but just to try and bring it to more and more people. So they've definitely embraced it, and other communities locally have as well.
And Jeremy, what's the plans during the AO?
I think we've got some sort of face cutouts of Stan and sort of have a few more stands running around Templestowe. We'll definitely be getting together as a group and a community to obviously support him through his matches.
Fantastic. We look forward to seeing it.
Thank you.
Well, take a seat over here, Jeremy. Now, what I'd like to talk to our two to the left here, which is Wendy and also Ernie from Kendall and Casino. Just talk to us, both of you, about the rivalry that's starting to build. And we heard the fighting words from the mayor saying we're going to hunt down Kendall next time. You worried, Wendy?
No, I would happy to be rivals with Casino. Brenda and I are very good friends, and we see each other just about every weekend at tournaments. So it's all good. It's good. As long as we're 1 and 2, it won't matter.
Any particular order on that one, Wendy?
Maybe.
Mayor, you've got the right to return serve here. What's going to be the campaign to try and take the top perch next year?
Look, this is our first year, as I said earlier, and with Brendan as our coach there and is progressing the club so much. And the community didn't get involved as much as they possibly could have. They did get involved, but not as much as they could have. So a little bit earlier start next year. And yeah, I'm sure after, as the town gets behind Serena as she plays this year and get more involved, and council will get more involved, and I just think, yeah, we can do better.
And Michael, for you, what did you see as having the most impact? Was it the online work? You had plenty playing Hit the Target?
I think in this day and age, it's really important to engage the young people, and social media in particular, Twitter, Facebook, are really important, and it's great that the players engage with their fans through social media. So we'll be using social media. Consistency for us. We had Sharapova last year. We had Nadal this year. We're very happy.
And Karen, something we were talking about with the Festival of Tennis, and that's what Templestowe obviously got involved in, and that's important, isn't it, both of you, across all levels?
Yeah, sorry, the festival you meant? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, once again, it's bringing more and more people into the game of tennis, so that's what we're all about. And again, the competitive nature across tennis as a sport, but also these communities is just going to grow the game as well, so we're happy about that.
And Karen, looking ahead to next year, and it's hard to believe that it's already been 12 months since the first of the AO Blitzes have unfolded, what have you got in place and what's already starting to unfold for AO Tennis Blitz, which will be 2016 through 2015 into 2016?
Correct, and certainly we've seen the strength of the free tennis days or the open days, so that's certainly going to be the main component of this year. We've already got 100 clubs who've already registered, so for those clubs and communities out there, they can start getting online and start opening up their doors and getting more people to play tennis.
So what do you need from these people here? What level of involvement do you need from these people to make sure it continues again? What do you need from council? What do you need from tennis clubs?
Certainly, I think we just like them to work together and do the best that they can with connecting with clubs, with communities, and certainly working with their schools as well. So I think the ones up here are doing the right thing. It's those other 2,000 clubs and communities out there that we ask them to get involved to do this, and they can also be on the stage. And of course, Templestowe very shortly are going to be meeting Stan Wawrinka and have just a wonderful opportunity to meet the defending champion. So all those other clubs and communities out there have that opportunity.
I think I saw Jeremy just trying to sneak his autograph book or maybe a little selfie in with Stan, I would suggest. What does that mean for you? What does that mean for the club to be able to meet the defending champion and a man who's certainly emerging? He's got one Grand Slam under his belt now and he'll be hungry for another one.
I think it just makes tennis sort of tangible to the normal person, I guess. You get to have contact with these players and just every single person thinks that one day they could be that person or they can meet that person. It gets a connection between community and the top level of tennis.
And with the coaching that you're doing at Tennis Works, how important is that to be able to talk to a 7 or an 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old that's showing a bit of aptitude and could possibly be something, but how do you temper that with the AO Tennis Blitz and the opportunity to maybe be where Stan Wawrinka is now?
I think it's about reality, just being realistic about what tennis can offer. We sort of promote, a tennis life, wherever that might take you, whether it's through schooling, through travel, just being involved in the community, just being a better person. So it's all tangible stuff for us and connections between community.
Karen, you spoke about the fact that these four are very much involved and really at the pointy end of it, part of the top 8, which is absolutely terrific to see. How do people now get involved? Is it websites? How do they contact Tennis Australia? What do they do if they're watching right now to think, okay, my town, my suburb, my tennis club, this is what I want to be doing and I want to be up here for the start of the Australian Open 2016?
Certainly the first thing that they can do is go onto our website now, tennis.com.au, and look for free tennis days, and they can log and register now their tennis days. So that's the first start, and then we'll start communicating with them, and then throughout the year, the more people that they connect that are new to tennis, that will be how we'll be rewarding them in 2015.
Maybe some final words from the people who are up here. Wendy, what's the most important thing about the AO Tennis Splits for you and your organisation, and what would you say to someone who's thinking about getting involved?
Yeah, just get the whole town involved. It's even though we've got 300 members, the whole town gets behind us. They're not even tennis players. They come down to our parties. They just walk down with their deck chairs and their big screens. And these people have never played tennis before. So it's getting those other people that aren't tennis players involved into the tennis.
Well, Wendy, you've got Novak Djokovic. You might be there at the pointy end of proceedings into the fortnight, and who knows? I mean, he's chasing a fifth Grand Slam title here at the Australian Open. Mayor Ernie Bennett from Casino, what do you think's been the most important thing to take out of the AO Blitz?
Oh, look, I think the build-up to it and the involvement of the whole community, like on open days, having 500 people turn up has been great, and it's just great for the community. Great physical sport and family sport that everybody, mum, dad, the whole lot. I mean, I was invited to come along as a VIP to play on an open day, and I hadn't picked up a racket for 40 years. And I played, and it was surprising. I actually aced a couple of our comp players, and I had some really wild shots too, I might add. But getting everybody involved, from the elderly and right down to the little kids, and I think it's great. Come along to see the whole family there, and they're all having a game, all enjoying themselves, and it's helping keep our community fit.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate your time. Stay up here for the minute because we're not far away. We're getting word that the trophies are on their way here. The draw, of course, with Bruce McAvaney. Stay tuned for that because he will be unfolding, along with our tournament referee and Craig Tiley as well, unfolding the fortunes of the players over the next 24, 48 hours, how they condition what they do to take on their opponents. But please congratulate our towns here. Fantastic work by Casino, Warrnambool, Templestowe, and also Kendall as well. Good luck to all of your players. Karen, appreciate your time here. Absolutely brilliant. Karen Clydesdale, give her a round of applause. A huge organisation as a part of TA managing community. So congratulations to one and all. On the other side of this, we'll find out how the draw will unfold. Please stick around. Bruce McAvaney to join you. I'm Ian Cohen. Thanks for watching the AO Tennis Blitz. The draw in just a moment.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Ian, thank you so much, and also to Karen. Stan and Lena are not far away. I'm up here with Craig and also Wayne McEwen and Craig Tarley. Craig, the Chief Executive and Tournament Director of Tennis Australia and the Australian Open, and Wayne, the Tournament Referee. I'd like to welcome Stephen Healy. Stephen, President of Tennis Australia. And there are a lot of other distinguished people here, but also to you, Nick Bollettieri, iconic coach, motivator, mentor, and still going strong. It's great to have you back in Australia, Nick, and we'll chat to you shortly. So lovely to have you here, Nick. As my researcher Josh mentioned to me a moment ago, Craig, Nick's had some clients that have done very well here at the Australian Open over the years, hasn't he?
Well, I think if you go through the list, there's probably not one player that Nick hasn't had some influence over. So I'm looking forward to listening to what I listened to Nick yesterday and had a lot of fun hearing about some things he told our 350 coaches.
Now, both Lena, who obviously has retired, and looking forward to chatting to her, and Stan, who's anything but retired, are about to get on a tram, I think, Craig and Wayne, are on their way down. So we know the Melbourne trams run on time, so they'll be here pretty soon. Hey, Wayne, just a quick weather update. We had a hot summer last year, didn't we? We had a pretty tough first week from memory, but here we're getting some pictures now. How's it looking?
The weather's looking fantastic for next week. We've got Bob Layton, our weather expert, on site. He's given us a perfect update for next week. I think Tuesday's probably going to be one of our warmer days at just over 30, but the rest of the week, it's no rain forecast, and temperatures very similar to today, which are perfect for tennis, perfect for fans.
Isn't that a great shot? I mean, with Stan and Lena together, Daphne Ackhurst Trophy, and also the Norman Brooks Challenge. So every sportsman and woman wants to get their hands on something like that. So they'll be making their way through Garden Square very shortly. Craig, Margaret Court Arena, it's sensational. It's added another dimension, hasn't it, to an already incredible facility.
Well, it is. Well, it was exactly 12 months ago we were here doing the draw, but we're not complete. We still used the court, but it was not finished, and now it's a finished arena. And for those, the opportunity to walk through it and have a retractable roof that can open and close in less than 5 minutes, and increase the seating capacity from the 5,000, a little over 5,000 to the 7,500, makes it a very special stadium. We tried it the other night, Wednesday night, when Rafa Nadal played the Fast Four against Verdasco, and a packed stadium, and it's still got the special aura about it, so it's going to be a fantastic.
Can't wait to get in there and call a match or two there. 7 new partners for the Australian Open. This is great stuff.
It is. We're growing and continue to raise the bar, and many will see around the side. Emirates is one of signed as our new airline partner, and several others. And one of them is, of course, Disney. And the last 3 days of the Australian Open will convert the Hisense Arena into Disneyland, and kids will come for free, and it'll be a fantastic new initiative. So beyond tennis, and they'll come obviously watch some tennis. We have a lot of tennis on it then as well, but then to come and enjoy the Disney characters and get to have a Disney experience as well.
There are a number of things I'd like to chat to you about. We might drift them in and out, but just on the kids, how's the Kids' Day looking for tomorrow?
Great. We've got encourage parents to bring their kids on site. We have a whole bunch of activations in the morning. Then at 12 o'clock, we all move into Rod Laver Arena, where there'll be a show for an hour between 12 and 1. We have players such as Nick Kyrgios and Thanasi Kokkinakis and Roger Federer, Victoria Azarenka, Eugenie Bouchard, Ana Ivanovic. So we've got a great lineup tomorrow from 12 to 1. So there's still some tickets available to get on site, but the stadium is pretty close to being sold out.
Talking about pretty close, Stan and Lena, not far away. Prize money, quite astonishing. I mean, it's 40 million in total now, isn't it?
It's 40 million. We made that announcement a week ago, and it's great to have our president sitting in front of us and the leader of our organisation, and enable that to happen for the players. We pride ourselves being the player-friendly slam, and there may be some argument about paying that much prize money, but we believe there shouldn't be any, because we believe the players deserve it. And the winner's check, of course, both on the men's and the women's side, is 3.1 million.
And just the facility, I mean, no construction going on, Craig. Now, we haven't had that for a while, have we? And we won't have it for a while. So this year's a bit ice. I mean, it's great, isn't it?
Oh, it is nice not to have the cranes and everything up. And this is the first year in a period of about 13, 14 years where there is no construction going on. But when February 1 is the men's final, and then February 2nd we start again, and some really nice new initiatives. But the next 6 years we'll have redevelopment continuing.
So we're getting so close now. So both Stan and Lena are almost with us. So they'll make their way up here and have a photo. I'll be in a position to talk to Lena. Lena is actually going to do the draw for both the women's and the men. And she'll go through the women's draw with us and an analysis. And I'm going to ask Nick to have a look at the men's draw and have a quick chat to Nick as well. So that should be great. So here they come. So almost with us. So what a moment for both of them, eh? It's great to have Lena back. I mean, 3 finals in her last 4 Australian Opens. A remarkable player. I mean, broke new ground by winning the French Open and then coming to win here. The Grand Slam of Asia Pacific, so it was brilliant, wasn't it?
It was brilliant, and what a lovely person. She told me that yesterday when she arrived that she'd been in Hong Kong and all she'd done for 3 days was watch tennis. So it's much easier.
And for Stan, I mean, just to say last year we have a new Grand Slam champion.
We
It's
do.
just superb, isn't it? So here they come. And what a remarkable year it turned out to be with a different look to the men in so many ways with 2 new champions.
Well, and every Grand Slam last year had a new champion, which is the first time for a long, long time.
So not the first time a photo's been taken for both Stan and Lena with the prize trophies. Stan seated 4 here. Swiss have had a good start to the year with Roger winning in Brisbane and Stan winning again in Chennai. So he's gone the same way, hasn't he?
Yes. And he's playing good tennis and had a good bounce after winning the Australian Open, had a fantastic year and stayed inside the top 5.
Not easy to do, but no. Davis Cup,
Davis Cup winner.
Monte
Swiss
Carlo,
running that. Yep.
yeah, so Masters, superb. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, Lena and Stan Wawrinka, eh? Come and join us. Welcome back, Stan. Welcome back, Lena.
Yeah,
Now,
if you want.
yeah, I think that's perfect.
Please stay with that. There you go.
Good to see you, mate. Congratulations. Lena, can we have a chat?
Hey, bud. Good to see you.
Welcome, mate.
Lena, come up. And you too, Stan, but I'll start with you if it's all right. It must be a great feeling to be back here. You're not playing, so it's a very different feeling, obviously.
I was still always looking forward to come back. Even I'm not playing anymore, but still can enjoy some good matches in here.
Why did you retire?
What?
Why did you retire from playing?
Because my knee cannot handle anymore. So, the age was getting a little bit old. It's not young anymore, so still a little bit different.
A good way to finish you at the Australian Open by being winning. What a great tournament it was for you over the years. I mean, you played so brilliantly down here. What was it about Melbourne and the Australian Open that you loved so much?
I don't know, I just feel like second home, I don't know what happened. Every year I was being here, I always play well. And especially, I think these couple of years when I was playing, I always can hear the Western people learn Chinese to support me. So I was feeling pretty different.
And the thrill of being the first from China to do all those things you did over the years. I mean, what sort of satisfaction does that give you now that you have finally retired from playing?
Wow, it's good experience, but I still feeling China tennis was getting much stronger. You can see right now, especially they have a lot of young players, they play tournament. So, best wish for them.
And what are you going to do with yourself? I mean, what's Lena going to do over the next 5 or 10 years?
Well, I try to have a tennis academy in China. Another goal, to be a mom.
Ah,
Yeah.
so a tennis academy and a mum. Okay,
Yeah.
so in which order are you going to do that, do you know?
Both was tough job, you know.
So Dennis is going well?
You know, you can, okay, yeah, he's getting better.
We're pleased to hear. I mean, that
Yeah.
was just such a big part of all of your matches. Lena, would you wait for a moment? I'm going to have a chat to Stan, and you're going to help us with the draw for the women and the men, if that's okay.
Yeah, because I didn't play anymore, so.
That's
yeah.
good. That's good. That's good. Lena, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Lena. So, Stan.
Hey.
Well, what an amazing year. I mean, 2014. All your dreams come true in a way.
More than my dreams. No, it was for sure amazing starting here with a Grand Slam, finishing with a Davis Cup trophy. I couldn't dream about that, and yeah, it was amazing 2014 for sure.
Just a couple of matches from last year. I mean, you've had a couple of incredible matches with Novak in the last 2 years, actually. I mean, one that he got the better of you and one that you got the better of him. But it changed the whole tournament in so many ways when you were able to beat him on the Tuesday night last year. I mean, can you talk us through that epic again?
Yeah, against Novak was always a tough one in Grand Slam. I had 3-1, one in US Open semi-final, 5-set, and for sure last year changed everything to finish as the winner. It gave me the confidence in puts me in the semi-final there, and my game was there physically. I was feeling great, and since that I knew that I had the level to win a Grand Slam.
And the final, which was a strange match in some ways. I mean, you came out and you played magnificently. Rafa, we know, was injured. It was then had some twists and turns. I mean, what are your memories of that?
Well, it was a strange final for sure. Rafa got injured during the match, so it was a different feeling than when you play a full match against a guy who's 100% fit. But I just take the end of the match. You know, when you win, when you start or try to realize that you won a Grand Slam, that's a strange feeling, but amazing feeling.
When Cilic won the US Open, he said Stan changed everything by winning in Australia. He felt like the whole tennis world had changed. I mean, what about for you? Grand Slam champion.
It changed everything in your career, that's for sure. When you win a Grand Slam, you start to really be part of the history of the tennis, and it changed my life, my tennis, and again, finishing with a Davis Cup title for Switzerland for me was something amazing, and playing with Roger the year I had last year was just the perfect year.
And everyone's going to ask you this and probably have, but do you feel different arriving here in Melbourne at this venue as the champ? How does that feel?
It feels great to see all the picture with me with the trophy in the corridor. For sure, first thing I did is to check if I was there, if it was a good picture. But
is it a good picture?
It's great. You know, when you have the trophy, it's always a nice picture.
It is. It's amazing, isn't it? And just finally, we'll let you go in a moment, but you've had the same start. I mean, you went to India and you've played so well there over the years, and it obviously works for you. How are you feeling about the next fortnight?
I feel good. Happy to be back for sure. Playing well, confidence with my game. It's going to be the first Grand Slam of the year. Everything starts to zero again, and you have to be ready for 2 weeks. But yeah, still a few days to see how I'm going to start the tournament.
And I've just got to ask you a cheeky one. Do you care who you play in the first round? I mean, is there someone who's not seeded that you don't really want to play?
I don't ask that myself that kind of question before the draw. You don't show. I will make sure she's doing a good draw for me.
That is a very good answer. Ladies and gentlemen, what a great player, what a great guy, and it's great, Sam. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Is your little girl coming out?
No.
Too far for almost 5, your little daughter?
Yes.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Stan Wawrinka, the 2014 Australian Open champion, Davis Cup champion, world number 4. So, Stan, I think you can relax.
Okay.
I think
okay. I'm leaving.
There's a photo. There's a photo. Oh, do you know much about Templestowe? Probably you're about to, I think.
You're
about
close
it's not far. It's a beautiful place. In fact, the gentleman from Templestowe, put your hand right there. So
I hope they bring me luck like this year.
Well, they're a lucky suburb. Templestowe. Yeah. Oh, they are. They're a lucky suburb. So, is that all okay? I'll take the mic. Thank you. All the best, Stan. Yeah, terrific. Stan Wawrinka, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Wayne, I need you. I need Wayne and Craig. Because, Lena, we're about to... well, what we'll do, Wayne's going to come up and set up the draw, and Craig, and then we'll... it'll be the unseeded players first. Just by the way, Craig, just the last wild card for the women, because you waited until the 11th hour. That's all been sorted out? The last wild card for the women?
Yes, it has. The last wild card for the women goes to a Chinese player who's a few spots out of the draw, Duan Yingying, and who Li Na knows well. And we are the Grand Slam of the Asia Pacific, and I think it's fantastic that a Chinese player has an opportunity to play.
Wayne, I'm in your hands for the moment.
Okay, thanks, Bruce. Okay, I'd like to call upon IBM, our official information technology partner, to randomly place the unseeded players into the women's singles draw.
So, so we know who Serena and well, we don't know who Maria's going to play because she's right down the bottom and she has to wait. But we know who Serena's going to play. So that's the first exercise. So now, Wayne, it's the seeds with Li Na.
Yes. Okay, we'll start by placing our number 1 seed on line number 1, Serena Williams, and seed number 2, Maria Sharapova, onto line 128. We have seeds 3 and 4. First one drawn goes onto line 33. I'd like to choose one. We have seed number 4, Petra Kvitova. Next one. And on line 96, we have our number 3 seed, Simona Halep. We will now draw seeds 5 through 8. First one goes on to line 32. We have seed number 8, Caroline Wozniacki. Next, onto line 64. We have seed number 6, Agnieszka Radwanska. Line 65. We have seed number 5, Anna Ivanovic. And onto line 97, we have our remaining seed from that group. Seed number 7, Eugenie Bouchard. Now seeds 9 through 12. First one drawn onto line 17. We have seed number 11, Dominika Siborkova. Line 49 is next. We have seed 12, Flavia Pennetta. Line 80 is next, and that is seed number 10, Ekaterina Makarova. And our remaining seed onto line 112. We have seed number 9, Angelique Kerber. Seeds 13 through 16. First one drawn onto line 16. We have seed number 15, Yelena Yankovic. Line 48. We have seed number 13, Andrea Petkovic. Next drawn onto line 81. We have seed number 14, Sarah Arani. Completing that group on line 113. We have seed number 16, Lucy Safarova. Moving on to seeds 17 through 24. First one drawn goes on to line 9. Seed 24, we have Garbine Muguruza. Line 24 is next. We have seed number 19, Elise Cornet. Line 41 is next. We have seed number 20, Samantha Stoser. Line 56. We have seed number 18, Venus Williams. Line 73. We have seed 22, Carolina Pliskova. Line 88. We have seed 23, Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova. And on line 105, we have seed 17, Carla Suarez Navarro. And completing that group on line 120, we have our number 21 seed, Shui Peng. We now do seeds 25 through 32. First drawn onto line 8. We have seed 26, Elena Svetlina. Line 25. We have seed 25, Barbara Zelova-Stritsova. Line 40. We have seed 29, Casey Delacroix. Line 57, we have seed 30, Varvara Lepchenko. Line 72, we have seed 32, Belinda Bencic. Line 89, we have seed 28, Sabine Lasiki. Line 104, we have seed 27, Svetlana Kuznetsova. And completing the women's draw, on line 121, we have our last seed, seed number 31, Zarina Diaz. Thank you very much. Concludes our women's draw. Thank you.
Wayne, thank you.
Let's do this now.
Let's have a good close look. I mean, one match that jumped at me immediately was number 29 and 30 playing one another. Sloane Stephens, a semi-finalist here a couple of years ago, and beating Serena on her way through against probably the most dangerous non-seeded player we've had for years, and Victoria Azarenka, I would have thought. So, Lena, have you still got your microphone? Here. Did you ever worry about the draw very much when you were playing? Was it something that made you nervous?
When I was playing, I never see the draw. Yeah, just round by round. Because if I saw the draw, maybe I'm thinking too much,
Okay, well, we often hear players saying that, but we don't believe it. But I'm certainly believing you. So we might, Lena, come over here with me, and we might just have a look at the quarter by quarter if we do. So let's the first quarter come up, and Serena, five-time winner, and but it's been a while. Svitolina, I think, is very promising. That is a tough match, I would have thought, for Sabulkova, but Kirsten Flipken's probably, her best year was probably in 2013, wasn't it?
So does it mean you tried to push me down? Or?
No, I'm not trying to, no, not at all. What about Serena? What do you think?
Tough player? Yeah. Everyone know that? Yeah.
Do you think she can win another Australian Open?
If she wants.
Sloane Stephens and Victoria. What about Victoria? She's won it a couple of times. She's not seeded. She's got Sloane Stephens.
dangerous player. Yeah, because I mean she's not C anymore, so you know. But still, we'll see.
You know her well here, don't you, Victoria? You had a big final with her a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. The second quarter. You and I might do a TV show together. I'm enjoying this.
Okay, this is my third goal, you know, for this year.
So a tennis academy,
Yeah.
a mother,
Yeah.
and a TV show.
Yeah, I tried.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I can't help you with two of them, but I can help you with the TV show, all right? Okay, I'm not a good tennis player. I'm a very poor player. Okay, Kate, well, we're hoping that Casey Delacqua and Sam Stozer can do well here. Samantha, we get a bit confused because she's such a great player and sometimes she doesn't always win. How does that happen?
You know, tennis is only two choices, win or lose.
That's exactly right. You're getting better. So Petra's got a qualifier, so she's in the final in Sydney today.
Yeah.
Casey's got an unseeded player who you'd expect that she'd have a good chance against.
Yeah, I was pretty like the way she's playing, so I prefer her.
Samantha, what about the pressure on Sam here in Australia?
Of course, it's not easy to play your country, especially in big tournament. I think I have the same experience, so I wish she can do well.
No, here. Venus Williams is interesting. Now, she's 34 years of age, 10 years younger than Kamiko Dato, so she's only a spring chicken. But she's won already this year in Auckland. She beat Caroline in the final, so
Yeah.
I would have thought Venus could be very dangerous here.
I mean, if she stay in the, healthy, or I think she will be dangerous as well.
Well, she'll be...
Because she has a lot of experience.
No doubt about that. So a finalist against her sister 12 years ago. So that's the first half. We'll go to the third quarter. So Anna, who's playing very well. What a great year Anna had last year with 4 titles. Anna Ivanovic, resurrected. Belinda Bencic is the only teenager, male or female, that's in the seeds.
Yeah.
17 years of age.
Play more like Martina Hingis.
Well, she has a connection with her mother.
Yeah.
One young lady I'm really interested in is number 73. Carolina Pliskova. I watched her match yesterday. She's playing Petra Kvitova.
She played final today, right?
She's playing the final tonight. Yeah. She played an amazing match yesterday against Angelique Kerber.
Yeah, I saw the match.
Do you know much about Pliskova?
I played her before.
Did you win?
Of course.
Okay. She still must be a very good player. Sarah Rani, Lisicki and Simona Halep. Now, Simona Halep, Karen Knapp's had a good tournament in Hobart. Simona Halep is she okay, by the way? I should ask Craig. Craig, 2 women I want to ask you about, Caroline Wozniacki and Simona Halep.
Yeah, they're both ready to play, and Simona Halep had gastro, which she's over, and Caroline's had some wrist challenges, but she's expected to be ready to play.
Simona's won 9 tournaments in the last 19 months.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing. I saw her play in Shenzhen in the final. Yeah.
She won.
Because I was there.
That's your hometown? Close?
My home country, but not hometown.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, is it close to where you live?
Not far away, by flight 2 hours.
Okay, that's a fair way. Now, the last quarter.
Okay.
Let's have a look. We think Eugenie's a good player. What about you?
Yeah, very good.
I'm just now, Peng Shuai, tell me about her. Is she the best player in China now?
For the ranking, of course, yes, because I'm retired.
Did you have a good relation? I mean, I should know. I mean, with all the other Chinese players, was it fun being number 1?
Can we just pass this question?
Of course we can. It's a silly question anyway. I won't. And what about Maria Sharapova, who, of course, has won all the Grand Slams and won in Brisbane, a great champion?
I think she's always fight on the court. You couldn't see if she was like win or lose. She always keep the same situation. So I think, yeah, I was looking for Maria play against Bouchard.
Maria against Bouchard?
Yeah.
In the semi-final?
Yeah. Oh,
that'll be the
quarterfinal.
quarterfinal. Ah, is that what you... So, Maria to play... Okay, now that you've done this, can we go back to the first quarter? I'm going to put Lena right on the spot. Okay, now that you've done this for me. Okay, who do you think will play in the quarterfinal here? Pick your two for the quarterfinal.
I think it's Serena in the top. And the bottom, I think everyone has a chance.
Okay, Serena against everybody. So that Serena doesn't mind that. Don't worry about that. She won't be intimidated. Okay, the second quarter. Sorry to do this, Lena, but I think you're an expert and I'm enjoying it.
You know, I was looking forward to see Kvitova against Venus. I don't know.
Okay, so Petra against Venus. So that would be a great quarterfinal. The third quarterfinal. We're just going to a commercial break, but it's okay.
Ivanovic.
Ivanovic against
Against...
Halep?
Yeah, maybe.
So Anna against Simona. So why not? And we know that it's Maria and Eugenie in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So, Craig, do you mind, Lena, if I ask Craig a question?
I have no question.
No, I do. I want to ask you a question. Can I quickly run through the Australians, Craig? So Sam's got... I'll just do surname.
Sorry, I forgot Sam.
Oh, no, Sam Stozer, that's okay. I'll just quickly run through... I'll just...
There's no Australians that play a seed, and last year we were doing the draw both on the men's and women's side, and nearly every Australian drew a seed, so things changed. But yeah, Sam Nicolescu, I think they've played a few times, and the last time I played would be Sam won that.
Casey's got Musburger. Now, Gaidasova famously hasn't won a match here. She's 0-9, but she's playing Dulgaroo.
She's playing very good tennis. Had some good wins leading in, and probably playing the best she has played. So,
some of the wild cards: Rogowska, Gibbs, Arina Rodionova against Puig, Sanders against Kukalova. So these are all interesting talks. Now, I've got to ask you about the two new Aussies, Tomljanovic and Gavrilova. Now, Tomljanovic has got Rogers and Gavrilova has got Burton. So probably start favouring him. But just it is slightly confusing for us that they're Aussies for a fortnight, but they're not Aussies for a lot of the rest of the year. I mean, can you just quickly tell us?
Well, the Grand Slams have different rules than the WTA, the Women's Tour, and the Men's Tour have, and so it does get confusing. I think they're both Aya and Tomljanovic and Dara Gavrilova have been living in Australia. This is now their new home, and just because they have not actually received their passports physically, which is pending around the corner, they in the Grand Slams can have Australia behind their name, but during the year they have their country of birth behind their name.
So it's not that far away.
Not that far away.
That they'll be playing as Australians for the whole year.
Once they do have residency, but once they actually have the passport in their hand. So.
Wayne, shall we
move on to the men's?
Lena, thank you. Are you going to help with the men as well? Draw the numbers out, and then I might get Nick to help with the analysis. Is that okay with you?
I have much time, so no problem.
Oh, okay, okay. Wayne, would you like to take over?
Yeah, thank you, Bruce. Okay, moving on to our men's draw now. I'd like to ask once again IBM, our official information technology partner, to randomly place the unseeded players into the men's singles draw.
Well, Del Potro can't get a seed, so I'm just looking at some... Sorry to butt in, Leighton. I'll shush for a while because I get too excited, Wayne. I'll leave it with you. Keep going. Lena, would you like to... I'll hold that for you. I'll hold that if you'd like to help Wayne.
Okay, once again, we start with our number 1 and number 2 seeds. Line number 1, Novak Djokovic. Line number 1 to 8, Roger Federer.
So Roger's got a highly credentialed opponent first up. Liu Yin-sun, and a qualifier for Novak, obviously.
Seeds 3 and 4. First one drawn, line 33. We have seed number 4, Stan Wawrinka.
So Stan's in the same half as Novak. They've played one another in the last 2 Australian Opens. They've been epics, both 5-setters.
And number 3 seed, Rafael Nadal, onto line 96.
So we could see a repeat of last year's semi-final with Rafa and Roger drawn on the same side.
Seeds 5 through 8 now. First drawn, line 32. We have seed number 8, Milos Raonic.
So that would be maybe a Djokovic-Raonic quarter.
Line 64, we have our number 5 seed, Kai Nishikori.
So against Nicholas Almagro, who's been struggling a bit with injury, coming back.
Line 65, we have our number 7 seed, Thomas Berdych.
So consistent, Thomas. Semi-finalists with Stan last year, played in the semis together.
To line 97, completing that group, we have number 6 seed, Andy Murray.
So Andy and Roger, who I reckon played in the quarters last year off the top of my head, they would be seeded to play in the quarters again.
Seeds 9 through 12 now, first drawn onto line 17. We have seed number 12, Feliciano Lopez.
Currently playing at Kooyong this week.
Line 49, we have our number 9 seed, David Ferrer.
Already a winner this year in Doha. 22 titles David has won.
Line 80, we have our number 11 seed, Gulbis.
So that's Thanasi Kokonakis will be playing in the opening round. He's playing a high seed in Ernest Gulbis, who was a semi-finalist in the French.
And on line 112, we have seed number 10, Grigor Dimitrov.
Who plays a dangerous Dustin Brown, so that's an interesting matchup.
Seeds 13 through 16 now. First drawn onto line 16. We have our number 13 seed, Roberto Bautista Agut.
So Bautista Agut, that's a dangerous opponent for him, the young gun from Austria.
Line 48. We have seed 16, Fabio Fognini.
Who's been at the Hopman Cup and in Sydney.
Line 81. We have seed 14, Kevin Anderson.
So Kevin's got Diego Schwartzman, who's had a good start to the year, Schwartzman.
And completing that group on line 113, we have our 15th seed, Tommy Robredo.
Against Eduard Roger Vaseline.
Seeds 17 through 24 now. First drawn onto line 9. We have our 19th seed, John Isner. Line 24, we have our 17th seed, Gail Monfils.
Hasn't played a tournament so far this year, but training here. And John Isner, of course, the only American male who's seeded.
Line 41, we have our 21st seed, Alexander Dolgopolov.
Playing in the final at Kooyong today.
Line 56, we have our 18th seed, Gilles Simon.
Played in Brisbane and also at Kooyong.
Line 73, we have our 22nd seed, Philip Kohlschreiber.
Who Bernard beat in Sydney this week.
Line 88, we have our 24th seed, Richard Gasquet.
Grand Slam semi-finalist. Always a great player to watch.
Line 105, we have our 20th seed, David Goffin. And completing that group on line 120, we have our 23rd seed, Ivo Karlovic.
Who's had a great start to the year. Of course, he beat Novak in Doha, made the semis there. He's the oldest man in the draw, by the way, at 35 years of age, about to turn 36, Ivo.
Moving on to seeds 25 through 32, first drawn onto line 8. We have our 31st seed, Fernando Verdasco. Line 25, we have our 25th seed, Julian Beneteau. Line 40, we have our 27th seed, Pablo Cuevas. Line 57, we have our 30th seed, Santiago Giraldo. Line 72, we have our 26th seed, Leonardo Maya. Line 89, we have our 28th seed, Lucas Rossell. Line 104, we have our 32nd seed, Martin Klizan. And completing the men's single straw on line 121, we have our 29th seed, Jeremy Shadi.
Thank you. So terrific.
Thank you.
We're all done, Wayne?
Yes. Thank you.
Lena, I'm about 10 on. I think that'll work if you talk. Do you want to just check the mic? Say hello.
Hello.
Perfect. I know you're staying for the press conference afterwards. And are you staying? How long are you staying in Australia for?
Couple days.
A couple of days.
Yeah.
You used to stay longer when you played.
Because I didn't play anymore.
I know, I understand. No, but you always stayed until the end because you kept making the final. Thank you for helping today.
Thank you.
Look,
so much.
you're a wonderful champion. We just loved watching you
so
play.
maybe next year I do the TV show as well.
Why not? I mean, you could. Would you like to host the coverage? Would you like to call with Jim Courier, or would you rather be the host?
No, I want to be the housewife.
Okay, the house. Ladies and gentlemen, Lee Na, our great champion from last year, retired and with a purpose in life. So nice. Thank you. Thank you. Nick, ladies and gentlemen, Nick Bollettieri. Nick, lovely to see you back. What a delightful young lady.
Well, she's also a great character, and she's really good for tennis. She's humorous, and winning that title inspires so many people, the young people from China. Because when you have somebody win representing your country, the kids get excited. The one thing I would like to say is, in the beginning, what's so important to have children play the game is to build their character and their personality and to prepare them for life. Not to be a champion, but to prepare them for life. And that's why those programs that you have throughout the cities are very, very important.
No, that's wonderful. Hey, Nick, how long has it been since you've been here?
I think the last time I was here was with Serena and Venus. Over the years, I've spent a lot of time here. It's a long trip, but it's a worthwhile trip because the people here are genuine. And they're great fans, and even though their player from Australia might be playing, they're very neutral, and they root for everybody, and that's what makes Australia so special. I plan to go surfing again. The last time I was here, I surfed at Bunzai Beach, and my bathing suit came off. So I was traveling down the beach trying to find my suit. So
wow, I would have. Did anyone take a photo?
I don't know which wife I was with that time, but I don't think so.
Wi-Fi works here now, by the way, so it was perfect. Did you know, actually, Josh told me today that Roger Federer follows you on Twitter, and he doesn't follow a lot of people.
Well, that's a privilege because there are only a few people like Roger Federer. He helped me get into the Hall of Fame with a beautiful letter from him and Sampras. But what he does, he represents life, he represents sport, and he's an idol, and children look at him. And it's very important that the champions have character and depth, and that's why he's such a great guy.
I've got 3 quick cheeky questions. I have to work with Jim Courier for a fortnight. He's an old mate of yours. You know him so well. God, he's difficult, isn't he?
Well, Jim is a fierce competitor. When he came to the academy, his mother wrote me a letter and said, Nick, would you change his backhand? He had a baseball grip. I said, to heck with the backhand. Hit all forehands and big serve, and that he did.
He sure did.
Yeah, he's a fierce competitor and a great commentator.
He is. Can I ask how old you are?
I'm checking the passport. They've made a mistake. They have me going on 84, but it's actually, you should reverse that to 48 or something like that.
You're going very, and 84 years, wouldn't we all like to be swimming in Bondi with nothing on when we're, and can I be very cheeky?
Sure.
Your love life, you're married?
Well, I've always had a slogan, marry him, don't date him, and that's rather expensive. I'm with my 8th wife, but I'm going my 11th anniversary, and I'm very proud of 2 boys that we adopted from Ethiopia. One is 10 and one is 7, and all we expect from them is to give 2 other young children a chance of hope and to achieve in life.
That's brilliant. That's absolutely superb. Nick's here for the coaches' conference. He spoke yesterday and he's going to be giving another keynote address. Craig, with you and Nick, I might go through the draw. I wouldn't mind just doing the Aussies for 1 sec, Craig, just as an overview. So, again, I'll just use the surnames. Kyrgios against Delbony, Tomic Kumki, Leighton against the wildcard, Zhongji, Kokkinakis, the 11th seed Gulbis, Groth, Krajinovic, who played at Kyon, Matosevic, a bit like Gajdasova, Marinko, in terms of trying to break the duck, has a qualifier. Duckworth, Kavcic, Thompson, who's impressed again this summer, Suzar, Millman has a seed, who's playing very well in Sydney at the moment, Meyer, and Luke Saville has a qualifier. So, again, a lot on that side of the draw, but you'd have to say it's ridiculous to say this, but it's a favourable draw.
Comparatively to previous years, you would say that correct, and I think that there are a few more Australian players in the draw this year than there were last year, both on the men and the women's side, so there are some opportunities for them. So
should we do the quarter by quarters, Craig and Nick, and we'll have a look at Novak and Milos here. Canadian tennis, Nick, with young Bouchard and Milos. It's going great guns, isn't it?
It is. Bouchard is a very talented young lady that can do everything. I believe this year will be interesting because she has to defend.
Yes.
And anytime you have to defend, a lot comes out. So she should expect not maybe a super year, but a year to get used to it. And she's only 20 years old. So a lot of things can happen when you have to defend.
What about Leighton Hewitt? Craig, 19th.
Yep.
He's 33 years of age, and he's playing his 19th consecutive Australian Open. You do the math.
Well, I predict he'll be 20. It's remarkable.
You don't think this will be his last one?
I hope not. We'll have to ask him that. But
you do it, I'm not. Well, it's remarkable, isn't it?
Well, one thing I would like to say, if you're ever in a foxhole and you want to have a couple of people that you know will make sure that your foxhole wins, is Leighton Hewitt. He only knows one thing, to go out into that arena and give everything he has and then find more to give a little bit more. He's a credit to sports, he's a credit to children, and I wish him good luck.
No, here, no doubt about that. 21-22 is an interesting matchup, Craig. Del Potro and Janovic.
Yeah. And there was some concern about Del Potro coming in, and he played some good matches in Sydney, and I think got what he wanted to do, and he's healthy, and of course Jerzy Janovic is, I think that's the key first round matchup in that quarter, there's no question.
That's a tough match because Del Potro was back and he was doing so well, then he had the wrist injury, and we've been talking about Janovic for several years. That's going to be a very interesting first round.
Yeah, I think you would normally expect Del Potro, Grand Slam champion, US Open, and to be seeded as you would Jersey. So it'll be a great first round match.
The second quarter. So our defending champion, that doesn't look, again, I mean, it's silly because everyone's a good player, but it doesn't look a terrible draw for Stan. So let's have a quick look through here.
I think it's interesting in this draw that the style of play is very similar with all your seeds in that draw, except for Stan.
You know, there's one thing. Many years ago, the top seeds usually had 1 or 2 free rounds. Not so today. Why? Those people up 80, 90, 100, they want to become famous overnight. And they're going to do everything they have to be the top seeds. So the top seeds have to go out there immediately and play darn good tennis.
No, that's for sure. So, Kei Nishikori down the bottom, the breakthrough for him, of course, last year at the US. So the third quarter, a lot of Australians in the second half, Craig, and we might, John Millman's got the seed. So Bernie, Sam and Thanasi are all very close together.
Thanasi, one of the few Australians playing the seed. In fact, there's only one Australian in the top half, and that's Leighton. The rest are all in the bottom half.
So the other 9 are all in the back half. Yep. Usually in Nadal, usually may not be the usually of 2 or 3 years ago at the moment. But that's tricky because Rafa's had an awkward start to the year, hasn't he?
Well, I think what's going to happen here, everyone is wondering about Nadal. Is he okay? Is he okay? We know he's going to compete. The question mark is his strength or his legs, movement. He jumps, he crawls, he slides. Usually is not that easy to beat. So I'm sure a lot of people will be looking at that first round to see how healthy Nadal is.
And the fourth quarter with Roger Federer, the number 2 seed. So Andy looks to be going well, Craig. I mean, he had a very good back end of 2014. He had the back injury the year before the operation, but his last part of 2014 was excellent. And you feel like well, we don't have the big 4 with Andy as the 4th anymore. He's back at number 6. I mean, you feel like he's ready to contend again?
I do. You know, a lot of people don't realize that the injury he had took longer than everyone thought, because his game is built around movement. He moves extremely well. He's also moved closer to the baseline, a big forehand, a great backhand. He's comfortable at the net. The question mark, that second serve, has got to be a little bit more aggressive. But I look for Andy Murray to have a big year this year.
The youngest player in the draws there, number 122. So the 3 teenagers, Kokkinakis, Kyrgios and Coric are the 3 teenagers in the draw at the moment. That's before the qualifying's decided. Craig, and I'll ask Nick as well, Roger Federer came here last year as the number 6 seed. He'd been runner-up in Brisbane last year. And he played exceptionally well and made the semi-final. You know, I feel like he's much more of a threat right here, right now, than he was at this time last year.
Well, there's a couple of reasons why. Number one, he changed rackets that helped him, gave him a little bit more hitting surface, and it's prevented a lot of shanks from topspin balls coming. He's returning serve better. He's serving better. But thank you to Mr. Edberg. Go to the net. Go to the net. Edberg, super player, couldn't break an egg from the baseline. What did he do? He went to the net, baby. And that's what's going to help Roger Federer. He's moving well. I think that if he has a chance to win another Grand Slam, there certainly could be an opportunity for him. By the way, we haven't said anything about John Isner being coached now by Gimbelstock. That's interesting. Gimbelstock was one of my students. He's a character. I believe that Isner, if he gets off that baseline and gets to the net, if I had a serve like that, I'd forget the baseline. You know, I'd have a honeymoon up at that net.
And you've had a few honeymoons, haven't you?
Well, a few.
Just before we wrap it up, I want to ask Craig one question. I want to ask you a question, Nick, but I want you to think about it for a second. And look, I could talk to you for 3 hours. Right. And I'm thinking, I don't want you to fly home. I want you to work with Jimmy and over the... how good would he be? But I'm going to ask you this, but don't answer it straight away because I asked Craig something. If you could have a ticket to watch any 2 players that play a match, a dream match that Nick wants to go and watch and have a good seat at, who are the two players you would like to see play against one another? Would you think about it for 10 seconds, 15, 20 seconds. It can be Bill Tilden against Rod Laver. It could be whatever you want. Roger Federer against Pancho Gonzalez or Jack Kramer. You go back a fair way. That passport is wrong, I know. You're only 48, but you do go back. So just for 1 sec, Craig, the qualifying's going on.
Yeah.
When do we think we'll know which side's playing which on when will the first Monday come out?
Well, as everyone knows that we are a Grand Slam, that we'll play one half the draw on Monday and the other half the draw on Tuesday, and we'll continue right throughout the 14 days, the 25 sessions. So we give at least players that play singles an opportunity to take a day off between each of their matches. So we'll make that decision. There are some tournaments going on around the world. We need to check the weather to make sure they're going to finish on time, and then check the status of all the players. And then hopefully by the end of today, we'll make a decision on which half of the draw is going to be Monday or Tuesday. And then we need to get through qualifying tomorrow before we release the full schedule for Monday. So the full schedule we expect to release around a little after 4 o'clock tomorrow.
4 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I think it's appropriate if Nick has the final word, don't you, today?
Absolutely. He can have many, many final words.
Nick, who would you like to see play one another?
Agassi, Djokovic.
Wow, Agassi and Djokovic. And why?
Well, first of all, if you look through the history of tennis, I believe that Djokovic stands alone of not having a weakness. Not having a weakness. He does everything extremely well. Agassi is a great returner, great footwork. That would be a very interesting match to see those two guys play. I believe it would be great because the people would see a real show. And, Djokovic is something special, but of course, we always remember Andre of what he brought to the game.
We love Andre. A four-time winner of the Australian Open and one of the many clients of yours that have done so well here. Nick, if I'm ever in trouble and I need a life coach, are you available? I think an hour with you, and I reckon I'd be very motivated.
Well, if you have $900 an hour, baby, I have the time. But I would like to say this. I might even give you a scholarship. I'd like to say this, Greg. It was an honor getting to open up the Coaches Conference. It's an honor for me to be here. I'd like to thank my manager, Steve Schuller, who worked to do this. And I'd like to say you all do a great job. God bless you, everybody.
Nick Bollettieri, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Nick. You're an absolute gentleman. You are a legend. And
Thank you.
I just don't have the 900, but I wish I did. Craig, there's a new facility for the facilities continue to improve for the players. I mean, I think we've wrapped it up pretty well. Is there anything on your mind that I should have asked you that I haven't?
No, I think, as Wayne said earlier, we're in for a great 2 weeks. There's good weather forecast. We've got the best players here. We've got a new Margaret Court Arena. We now have 3 stadiums with a retractable roof, the only one with that. We have an ongoing redevelopment on the site. I think we have a great leadership team. We're in good shape, and there's more Aussies in the draw.
Yeah, absolutely. Here. So, Craig and Wayne, thank you. Thanks to Lee Nah, Stan, and Nick. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you all and sundry. And, can't wait for the first match, the first ball to be hit at 11 o'clock on Monday morning. All the best. Thank you.
That was our number 9. That was you and I, number 9.
This is that ice cold Michelle fight for that white gold. This one for them hood girls, them good girls, straight masterpieces. Stylin', wildin', living it up in the city. Got Chuck's on with Saint Laurent. Gotta kiss myself, I'm so pretty. I'm too hot. Call the police and the fireman. I'm too hot. Make a dragon wanna retire, man. I'm too hot. Say my name, you know who I am. I'm too hot. And my band bought that money. Break it down. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. 'Cause Uptown Funk don't give it just watch.